Watch this and then we'll talk about it.
They asked men, would you be okay with dating or being with women that had a higher salary to you? And their answer was like, yeah, sure, absolutely, no problem at all. And then the second phase of the experiment was they put those men in rooms with women that were operating at a higher salary. And 80% of those men changed their minds when they were interacting in the same space as the women. And also they couldn't even be in a physical proximity to women that were financially more successful than they were.
None of us are surprised, are we? This is something that a lot of us already knew. We didn't need statistics or anything to tell us this. In a patriarchal society, the person who makes the most money has the power. In a patriarchal society, the man has to have the power, so he has to make more money than you. Therefore, even if a man meets a woman that makes more money than him and he seems cool with it, once they get into that relationship, he is more likely to start acting stupid after a while. And that's where you see these high-profile relationships where a guy might get her pregnant when she's at the top of her game and then start trying to control what she does. That's where you see situations where in careers that women have where they make more money than their man, they're more likely to be cheated on. Unless you meet a man who is actively doing the work to dismantle patriarchy, it is so easy to fall down the slippery slope of the toxic habits that I just mentioned that happen in these relationships where women make more money than men. They might love the fact that you're an ambitious go-getter, and then once they get you locked down, they start complaining that you work too much. They start belittling your accomplishments. Your degree isn't all that promotion ain't that big a deal. They start complaining that you're never home, even though you work like a normal person. All of a sudden, you're never home and you're neglecting the kids, and they want you to be home more. That's when they start cheating because you don't pay enough attention to them. They don't feel significant. They don't feel as if you need them. Listen, I pretty much know that I'm probably going to be single either for the rest of my life or for a really long time because money aside, my personality alone, you have to be a confident, secure man. Because I ask questions and I got a smart mouth and you ain't getting away with shit. I'm a highly ambitious person who sets goals for themselves, and I like to work hard to achieve my goals. I'm always working on myself and aspiring to be better. So if you are an insecure person, that's constantly going to shine a light in your eyes. It's going to hold a mirror to your face, and you're not going to be able to handle it because you know you're not shit. Now, I am not rich, but I do make a nice amount of money. I can pay my bills and have money left over and spoil myself and my kids. I am lucky and blessed to make well over minimum wage, and I manage my money really well. And I also don't have to work that hard to make the money that I make. That alone will piss a lot of men off. I have tried in the past, y'all, I keep saying this, I have been in just about every scenario. I really should write a book. In the past, I have tried to date men who made less money than me, and they got threatened by it, and it never worked out. Even when I was with my abusive ex-husband, at one point in that marriage, I cleaned houses, and he was cool with it until I started making more money than him. We were able to hire a nanny to watch our kids while he worked and while I worked. He found an issue with every single nanny that we had. It was always something made up, something stupid. For example, we had one nanny who brought our son some cookies, and he didn't like that she brought him cookies because what if she poisoned him? Now, mind you, she could poison our child at any point while she's watching him, but that was his reason to let her go. And it was some stupid ass issue with every single nanny we had. We went through about 4 until guess what happened? I finally stopped and stayed home. And don't tell me, well, I don't trust people around my kids either. He was a narcissist. He was an abuser. That wasn't it. And don't gaslight me and tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about my own experiences. But anyway, back to the point. I once heard a celebrity talking during an interview about how her husband, who makes less money than her, got upset because her personal assistant brought her coffee and he was like, you don't need all that. In her mind, she's thinking, oh, he really cares about me. But I'm just like, why does it bother him? Because he can't afford that. Because she's doing that with her own money. Now, mind you, I get it. Men with a lot of money can be assholes too. I totally understand that. I have dated men like that and I can confirm. But when you date someone with significantly less money than you, or that ain't got no money, you're already walking headfirst into a disaster. Like, you've kind of been warned. Now, I get it. There are plenty of women who sent their husbands to college and paid for all their tuition and everything. There are women who supported their husband's dream of being a rapper. But that's the exception, okay? Don't fall for these exception to the rule stories where these women do something that is not really a good idea for us to be doing, and then it turned out good for them. That's not the norm. What happens to most women is that they fund these men's dreams and their lives, and then when these men get where they want to be, they drop them. These men don't want to be connected to anything that reminds them of their broke-ass past, and then they move on with somebody else. One of my favorite comedians, his wife helped pay for some of his college tuition. They're still seemingly happily married. I love that for them, but do not repeat that shit. I do not recommend that. I used to work with this woman who did shit like give her husband her debit card when they're out to eat so it looks like he paid. Yeah, that kind of situation. And as I got to know her, her husband bitched and complained about everything and was trying to find family members to let him live with them so that he could get away from her. She paid for everything, his cell phone, his drawers, his shoes, gave him her debit card so he could buy whatever he wanted, and he still was not happy with her. I get it. Men are still going to be men whether they have no money or a lot of money. Who are you talking to? I've been there, done that, I know. But for me, dating someone who is broke or who makes significantly less money than me is me just literally asking for bullshit to happen. One of the biggest reasons why marriages end is because of money. For me, personally, I don't believe in being with somebody who isn't on the same wavelength as me as far as life, beliefs, goals, and money. I just think that's a recipe for disaster. I don't believe in opposites attract, really. People say that shit all the time. It might work for them, but I don't like that. I'm at the age, after all that I've learned, I don't believe in falling in love, because when you fall, you bump your fucking head. When you fall, you hurt yourself. I believe in, if I'm interested in someone, I'm going to take my time to get to know them. I'm going to ask serious questions that matter, things that will affect me if we were to connect and get together. I am not a sugar mama. Don't like it, don't know that, don't want to do it, ever. So if I will have to provide for you, you are automatically disqualified. I don't care how cute you are, I don't care how funny you are, and you might be a great person, and I wish you the best, but no.